What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Q the Content Guy. We are back. We are back for a review of one of my favorite reality shows, Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 1. Do you remember the time when we fell in Liberian girl? Child. What the hell contestant got on, child? We're gonna get into her in a little bit. Anyway, like I said, Married to Medicine is one of my favorite reality shows. I think Married to Medicine is the only show that I watch that I can speak on that has had the same cast since season 1, maybe with an addition. But Toya, Jackie, Simone, Quad. Yeah, well, at least those four haven't gone anywhere. Heavenly and Contessa. Remember Contessa? They came along later on. But anyway, I love Married to Medicine. They need to bring Mariah back. Mariah was my girl. I don't care what y'all say. Mariah was my girl. Anyway, we are back. I'm excited. You most likely will get a consistent review with Married to Medicine from me because I just love this show. Let me get my notes. Remember the time. All right, so let's get into it. So Married to Medicine has been off the air for about a year now, I want to say. The show opens up with what the ladies have been up to. We're in the car with Dr. Jackie and Simone. They're riding to Jackie's house and they're talking about, how they're busy after the pandemic has, things have we're still in the pandemic, but things have gone back to normal, and how they're busy and how everybody wants a black OBGYN. No, that's right. With the black girls looking at y'all coochie. I know that's right. They're giving y'all the best advice. Well, I'll save it. Let me save it. Let me see. Simone said her and Jackie have not been in a good space in about 2 years, but it seems like they put their egos to the side. They worked on their friendship, and it seems like they're in a good space. So we'll see how it plays out throughout the season. Good for them. Yeah, good for them. So it's interesting because I'm not a Jackie fan. I was a Dr. Jackie fan for a minute, and then I forgot what season it was, but I never forget Mariah was like, your slip is showing. And I was like, what Mariah talking about? And then I was like, wait a minute, let me go back and look at some stuff. And Jackie is sneaky. Just because she ain't up there yelling and cussing and doing all this in your face, Jackie is sneaky. And I don't see it for Jackie or that big, ugly looking Curtis. But Jackie ain't do nothing wrong the first episode, so we gonna keep it cute. We see Cecil and Curtis outside, in front of a car, and the scene was just remind us of them back in the day when everybody was getting along. Curtis and Cecil going to get some wings, aka going down to Magic City, aka going down to the valley where the girls get naked. Inside, Jackie talking about how she and Big Ugly went down to Alabama to get an O shot, and which is pretty much taking blood and something else. I forgot what else she said, and putting it back into the vagina to make the thing juicy and healthier, and making that orgasm feel real again. And she says you also can get something called the P shot, which makes the penis longer and harder and stronger. Jackie, I don't want to think about you or Big Ugly having sex. Up next is Dr. Heavenly with her messy ass. But I will say this though, Allure, her daughter, absolutely gorgeous. That is a beautiful young lady. Heavy talk about how she now owns a beauty supply store called Heavenly Beauty. And she's talking about, how Allure works in the store. She's like the social media kind of manager or things like that. And she said, she has great style, great fashion. She doesn't know where she gets it from. Well, we know, Heavenly. We know she didn't get it from you. And she didn't get her looks from you either. So they do say when you put two ugly people together, they make a cute baby. So that's that. She's waiting for Dr. Damon Daddy. Y'all remember when Carrie called Dr. Damon Daddy, and Heavenly got mad? She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll remind Dr. Damon Daddy." So that will be his name moving forward, Dr. Damon Daddy, to come teach Laura how to drive. Quad walks in. Miss Quad, always extra. This is my life. This is my life. Quad like I said, she walks into Heavenly's house. She sees Allure. She was like, "Girl, I remember when I got my car, I had a Toyota Corolla. I went to your birthday party. You got a Range Rover at age 16. I know that's right, girl." So Quad jumps right into it, and she says, pretty much like, what's going on with Heavenly and Contessa. Heavenly says she hasn't talked to Contessa since New York, which whenever they say New York they always mean the reunion. But she hasn't talked to Contessa since New York, and she said, and she really didn't. At first, I was like, okay, Heavenly didn't say anything wrong. Now, mind you, I don't care for Heavenly. Heavenly is funny, but Heavenly got way too much mouth, and she ate too much stuff for me. But when I saw the clip, I was like, okay, well, I don't remember Heavenly saying anything nasty or vile about Contessa's marriage. She just pretty much was saying, she hopes it works out. So she said she was very cautious about what she said. However, the producers pause Heavenly and they scroll on down to Contessa, and we see that Contessa was like, Heavenly was on her YouTube channel, and she was pretty much talking about how Heavenly was getting on her YouTube channel talking about it. She was answering a question that was does Scott abuse Contessa, and she was like excuse me. Ooh. She said emotional and verbally, and I'm sure she said some other stuff. So that's pretty much, Contessa hasn't talked to her since then, and yeah. So Quad is doing renovations on her house. She says she doesn't want to take money from a man. She doesn't want a man to think he has authority in her household. You know how she took the money from Dr. G. Yeah. Moving on to Contessa. Contessa's outside with her trainer. She's getting ready for a fitness competition. When she was back in 2002, she was a Miss Teen. So okay, she was Miss Teen, and she wants to get back to that size. She said she was going to get the divorce for Scott, but Scott refused to sign off. She had told the kids they were going to. She had everything, to be divided up, and then he wouldn't sign off on the divorce, and he ended up going to therapy. That's because he knew his ass couldn't do no better. Now let me say this about Contessa. Contessa had 3 different looks in her confessional. All of those confessional looks looked 2 of the 3 confessional looks looked a fool. You hear what I'm telling you? A fool. She had a bang yang. She had something. The only one that looked good was that bob. That bob that was tight. She had a loose bob, and that was Contessa. Call Bravo, call Andy, and tell them to only show that confessional, because all the other confessionals, you look a fool. Okay, now that I got that out the way, we see Miss Quad. I will say Quad has a beautiful house. Now I don't know what's up with this 14,000 square foot house, but it's funny that I think Toya was the first one to have a 14,000 square foot house. Now 2 other cast members have one, but her nephew Mason is living with her. Also, her mom is living with her. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we met Quad's mom. I didn't catch her name. At first I was like, child, this is the same storyline that Marlo got. But then when we learned Quad's story, I took that back. So Mason is living with Quad. So last year, Quad's brother, who was 34 years old, passed away of heart complications. So she's, I don't know if she's the guardian of the nephew, not, but that's very, very sad. And he's only 6 years old, and the brother was 34. So, you can see the family holding it together, and the boy is having issues, rightfully so. He lost his dad, and he's good in school, but he can't stay focused. But again, rightfully so, he just lost his father, and he's trying to adapt himself to a whole new environment and things like that. Even though that's his aunt, he's still trying to adapt. So I definitely, thoughts and prayers go out to Quad for that. That's a terrible situation that she's going through, and I hope that they can, all get past this, and never forget him. Always keep him in his memory. But hopefully they'll be able to grow closer as a family for that part. We are at Alina's house. First of all, I don't even know why she back. I think I said the name right. I don't know if I'm saying the name right or not. I don't know why she back. I guess she back because of her husband, because her husband is the one with the personality. I could do without her. Dr. Karen is the one with the personality. Alina, whatever her name is, I don't see it for her. Last season, I didn't see it for her. This season, I don't see it for her. And it's only the first episode. She was not a fan favorite of mine. She's not a fan favorite at all, and she was not a favorite of mine. So, anyway, and she's also inside her 14,000 square foot house, the same size house Toya had. We're at her house, and her husband was like, I regret that we spent so much money on this house. The budget was 1.5. They went about to 3 million. It took them almost 3 years to build the house. But the house is beautiful. They're planning for a housewarming party. All the family is there to bless the house. And like I said, her husband is super funny. There's a priest outside the house. I was confused, like, child, why you got this expensive ass house and you let that big ass cow walk through your house? And then he shitted on your steps? Nope. Next is Toya. Stay moving. Bush Harris, baby. Toya, stay moving. I thought I moved a lot. Baby, Toya moved every season. Toya moving. I think last season probably the longest Toya to stay at her house. Your dream home. Remember your dream home? But Toya sold her dream home, and she said now they're in a rental, which is a beautiful rental, and they purchased a lot. In April of 2023, they will be in their new house. Eugene walks in. Toya's loud. Eugene's over it. Toya and Elena are on good page again. Toya, why you sell your house, Toya? Now, Toya, I be trying to be on your side, sis. Let me take this drink of water. Hold on, y'all. Now, Toya, I be trying to be on your side, girl. I really try to be on your side, Toya. But Toya, why you say that house? You done wrote scriptures inside that house. You done had that 2-story closet that you went out and made Heavenly get a 3-story closet. I don't know why she needed a 3-story closet, but Toya had that 2-story closet. It was clean. It was beautiful. Toya, why you sold that house? Because the girls going to be asking. They're going to be asking you and Eugene why you sold the house. Now, listen, if you couldn't afford it, just be like, look, y'all. We were in over our head. We couldn't afford it, so we had to take a step back. If you just be real with these girls and shut them down before they get to it, they ain't gonna have nothing on you. That's just a little bit of advice. So, the ladies all arrived at Elena's house. Heavenly and Dr. Daddy Damon over there, they arrived with Audrey. I don't know what the new girl name was, the friend to the show, and Dr. Martin. I forgot what her name was. And child, every time somebody in Dr. Damon Daddy face, here come Heavenly. Why is she in his face? Why is she in his face? Why is she all in his face? And I'm thinking to myself, girl, don't nobody want him but you. Don't nobody want that ugly nigga but you. You're the only one that want him. Trust. They've told me they don't want him. They don't want him or Curtis. Ugh, yuck. So everybody telling the Heavenly girl, calm down, blah, blah. You 25 years, and even Damon Daddy was like, Heavenly's the only one for me. Carrie, she says, y'all got 25 years. You have nothing to worry about. Heavenly's like, oh, I'm not worried, blah, blah, blah. But you should be worried. You should be worried about what Duncan over there doing. And I'm thinking to myself, unless they cut a scene out, I'm like, all she did was say, you got 25 years on him, sis. Don't worry about nobody. But see, that's Heavenly being insecure. because Damon was the only nigga she probably could pull. So now she, she holding on to him by a string, and you being insecure is showing. But I'm gonna save my reads for Heavenly throughout the season. So I was like, girl, you doing too much. So anyway, Contessa showed up. Child looked like she was going down to the "Do you remember the time?" video set. I said, Contessa, what the fuck you got on, girl? Did you miss the call time for Remember the Time or Liberian, girl? Which one? What you going on there with the Prince of Egypt? Where you going? Where are you going? The theme is Indian, not Egyptian. I said, girl. Elena said she got all her furniture free from blogging. I said, oh, okay. The fellas are outside. Damon, Dr. Damon Daddy introduced us to Martin. He's a doctor. Quad. What I put? Oh, Quad is she walks over to Contessa, they hug and things like that, and she says, do you think that you and pretty much like, what's going on with you and Heavenly? And she said Heavenly hurt her feelings on YouTube. And in Quad's confessional, she was like, Heavenly cannot be pretty much running her mouth on YouTube and then want to be in our face and still be cool, but you saying all these nasty things on YouTube. So it seems like at least this part of the season, or the problem that the ladies have with Heavenly is her YouTube channel, which I knew that was going to be a problem eventually, because that's what Heavenly does. She get her little cocktails, she get up in that closet, up in that attic, and she runs her mouth. And the problem that I have with Heavenly is that you run your mouth, but you don't back it up. And anyway, so Quad was pretty much trying to get she trying to get the party started, and she was like, telling Heavenly to come over, but Contessa was like, nope, I don't want to talk to her, not tonight. When I tell y'all, Contessa shut that shit down so quick, she said, I don't want to do this tonight. So, she, pretty much that wasn't the night to do it. So I guess they'll get their time to talk. And as the night was coming to an end, Elena got her ass up on there, and I gotta figure her name out. But she started dancing. She ain't got no rhythm. So, but she's back. Anyway, I'm happy to see my ladies back. I love Married to Medicine. Bring back Mariah, but this should be an interesting season. I know they show previews for like the next up and coming week. So I guess it's gonna be like an intervention on Heavenly, because Heavenly's talking about everybody on her YouTube channel. So all the ladies pretty much gonna get on her. So we'll see how that plays out, and it'll be interesting. But anyway, I'm about to go watch Contessa in the Michael Jackson Remember the Time video, and y'all enjoy y'all nights. Look out for some more. I think I'm gonna do what's that damn show called? Atlanta Housewives tomorrow, I think, child. Now, anyway, a new episode of Weekend Sessions coming tomorrow. And like I said, Married to Medicine is back. It was a decent episode. It's getting the party started. Things are starting to fall into one. So we'll see how episode 2 plays out. Enjoy y'all night. Peace. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the